Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and it's time to continue through Fossil Roo. Alright, so Mogkey here has a Mog shop, but all he sells is healing items, and we really have plenty of those. We could use a tent, but we did that at the end of the last video. Well, let's see if he has any new mail for us. I got a letter from Kupo. I don't even know who Kupo is, Kupo. Let's read it together. I'm bored, Kupo. I'm so bored I'm going to hide away. Try finding me inside this cavern. Hint, I'm behind a wall. What a carefree move, O Kupo. I've fled from Lindblum with my life. And Stiltskin is here, so I guess he escaped the destruction of Clara too. That was some trouble I ran into in Clara. I was hurt so bad I couldn't even move. But now that I've recovered, I'm back on track. And he'll sell us a set of a Phoenix Pinion, a Remedy, and an Ether for 555 gil. That's quite nice. And he can continue his journey. Now let's go along this route. And we see some Gargant grass, which we can use to summon a Gargant. And it drops us out here. And amusingly, this is the end of the area. Seriously, the area that we're overlooking here is the end of Fossil Roo. But Zidane is too much of a wimp to jump off of the cliff that he's standing on, so we're gonna have to get back here a different way. But we do receive the fairy earrings. Those would teach us a few useful abilities like level up body temp, but everybody already has the accessory I want to equip for now, because Vivi will level up soon, so I want him to receive the magic bonus from the magician shoes. So we took a Gargant and it led us to just a dead end containing some treasure, so what are we supposed to do now? Well, let's start by going back the way we came. And you might notice some things. The trail forks, but one of the forks is blocked by a hose constantly spraying water onto it, which the Gargant isn't willing to go past because Gargants don't like water. So, and there's the window that refers to that as the switch to current course. So, yep, we can actually control which route the Gargant will take by flipping a switch. And if we go up the top of that room instead of the bottom like before, we find there's another Gargant. Let's see where this one takes us. Now this is the Switch 1 course, which drops us here. And we found switch number 1. So if we flip switch number 1, that actually changes the course of the Gargant that we just rode. So if we grab some more Gargant grass, now, instead of taking us back to where we started, this Gargant is instead taking us along a new path. If we go up through here, we get a chest and an ether. Nothing particularly special, but those are useful. But if we take the lower, longer path, well, let's see what we get. I'm honestly surprised there haven't been any random encounters yet. We've reached another switch, and this is switch number 2. We flip switch number 2, and now the route of the other Gargant that leaves from that room has been changed. Also, I'm honestly not 100% sure whether it's different Gargants for each route, or a single Gargant that kind of has the run of the place. Ah, bats! Not the first time we fought these guys, though they have an ability for Quina. Now we're down to just one. $238 damage. How much you want to bet that is the majority of their health? You know can eat until weaker. Really? Oh, come on. You know, I'm gonna risk it. This isn't a particularly valuable ability, so if it doesn't work out. Alright. Holy crap! Okay, I'm gonna quick bring Zidane back to life. So they have fewer than 600 hit points, but apparently more than 400. So they probably have 500. Alright, let's start with fire. Which deals about 220. And then let's have dagger physically attack, and then let's try eating. Okay, it did survive all of that, and then it uses absorb more to cancel it out. Okay. Let's have dagger actually, it's probably going to use absorb even more before when his ATB gauge is full. Alright, let's revive dagger with a phoenix down. I'm fairly certain that if it doesn't get to heal itself between Vivi hitting it with fire and dagger physically attacking it, it will have low enough health that we need it. And that will be helpful. Quina's trance command, Cook, raises the HP threshold after which she can eat enemies, so she can eat enemies with a larger portion of their health remaining. It's not very useful compared to other trance abilities, but it does have some usefulness. And we got it, learned Night. And Vivi leveled up, and Quina will level up soon. Now first, now that Vivi is leveled up, I am having him equip the fairy earrings to learn level up, which causes a character to receive more experience points after battle, and body temp, which causes a character which gives a character immunity to the freeze status effect that Black Waltz 3 was using against us, as well as the heat status effect, which we have not encountered. Also realizing I should have equipped Vivi with the Magician Robe when he was about to level up. Well, now I can switch him to the Silk Robe, which teaches some useful abilities, including Ability Up. Alright, let's see. Can he learn Insomnia? He already has it equipped. And let's equip Ability Up. I'm not worrying about level up just yet. It's a nice ability, but I kind of want to wait until I have equipment that gives better stat before I use it. Alright. Give up antibody for Insomniac. And for Zidane, do you have Insomniac? You do. What would I have to give up to get it? Steel Gill has barely been useful, so Insomniac. You'll see why I'm doing this. Okay, trading strength for magic directly isn't worth it. And giving up 2 points of strength for 1 point of magic and 1 point of spirit is also not worth it. Alright, bow and wrist. Once again, trading strength for spirit is even more not worth it. And trading speed for anything is never worth it. And I'm gonna quick have Dagger use some magic to heal herself. There we go. But now that we have flipped switch number 2, we actually want to return to where we started, because the Gargant that is controlled by switch number 2 will now take us to a different place. Now I just really hope that the Gargant doesn't get full partway through and strand us. It gives me the wonderful mental image of the party just like sitting around outside of the where you hop onto the Gargant, lazily waving a piece of Gargant grass in the air, like, is it hungry yet? We need to get out of here. Right. And the grass seems to grow back nice and quickly. All it takes is leaving the room and re-entering it, and the grass will be bright as rain. And we're back where we started, but since switch number 2 is in a different position now, we can go somewhere else. It's a nice business relationship that we have with the Gargants, because I guess they can't reach the Gargant grass on their own. Now we can talk to this guy. Hey, you made it this far already? You want to buy something? Well, let's see what he's got. Equipment we already have. More equipment we already have. And items we don't need. Alright, well, I appreciate the offer, but no thanks. And we've reached another switch, but we actually don't want to hit this switch immediately. Because we haven't seen where this Gargant goes normally. And let's go in here. I appear to have remembered something wrong. As we go through here, let's see for a moment where this Gargant takes us. Yep, we found another Gargant. Things have gotten complicated all of a sudden. There we are. Apparently we actually kind of do want to hit that switch first, because we're actually pretty much at the exit. We were back at that room I showed you before. And this Gargant can take us to the exit if we hit the right switch. But before we do so, it'll take us here, where we find a survival vest. Which would give Zidane better stats and teach him Locomotion and Mug. Locomotion grants immunity to the Stop status effect, which I don't believe we've seen yet, and Mug causes his Steel command to inflict damage. Since we aren't really dealing with enemies that inflict Stop, Locomotion isn't really that useful yet, and I don't particularly like Mug, because I actually prefer to have Zidane Steel when I want to keep him from causing damage. So for now, and I want to finish learning Stone Killer and Bird Killer, so I'm sticking with the Adamant Vest for now. I will use the Survival Vest, though. But, taking our way, going through here, we meet this guy. And also find our way over to here. Which is essentially allowing us to enter the exit room from a different place. Let's talk to this hard-working fellow. Wow, I can't believe you made it this far without getting hurt. This is my territory. Go dig somewhere else. I'll let you excavate here in exchange for a potion. Well, sure, we got plenty of those. We can find a few things, most of which aren't very useful, but one thing that we can find is this wall looks a little suspicious. So let's excavate it for a while. Cool. Yep. Remember how that Moogle said he was behind a wall? Well, I think we have found that right wall. And here he comes. I have a favor to ask, Kupo. I want you to deliver a letter to Kupo. Wow, he's back in Alexandria. It'll be a while before we see him. Well, let's accept the mission, and let's see what he sells. Once again, just usable items. No need to save or rest just yet. There is other stuff that we can find, but it's not really anything special. With the one exception that it is possible to find the accessory Medane's Ring by mining. But it is quite difficult and will take a long time, and is frankly not worth it. Except for the fact that there is an achievement on the Steam version for finding Medane's Ring by excavating. I personally really don't even think it's worth it beyond getting the achievement, which I actually have. But you can do that if you really want to get the ring or just to get the achievement. But for now, really, finding the Moogle is the only thing worth doing for this. So, are we quitting already? Yep, I'm quitting already. I found the one thing that's really important here. Actually, there's something I want to show on this screen first. However, this chest appears to be inaccessible. Well, you'd think that we could maybe climb up some part of this wall to reach this chest, but actually not. Alright. Instead, we actually want to go back to the Gargants up the road to get to this room. Somehow. I'm not entirely sure how to get there. Is it impossible to get back to where we came from? Have I locked myself out of getting that chest? Oh, nope. If you carefully sneak along the bottom, it is possible. And we have another random encounter, which is an opportunity to demonstrate Night. And it's more Seeker Bats, which means there's no reason to keep them alive, because we already have the one ability we can learn from. Blue Magic. Night. Night causes sleep on everything, on both our side and theirs. However, since everyone in our party has the Insomniac ability equipped, we are all immune to sleep. So, we can cast sleep on the entire enemy party with very high accuracy, with no risk of our party members being put to sleep themselves, because we're all immune to it. That was helpful. Yeah, Night is actually a pretty useful ability if you're willing to keep Insomniac equipped and make it work. Alright, looks like Zidane and Dagger are going to level up next. Alright. Yeah, the bandana really is the right move for Zidane. As is the Bone Wrist, giving up 1 point of spirit is still worth it. And the chain plate to get a bit more strength. And the power belt is still going to be the best accessory he could equip. Ah, I overshot by 1. And yeah, giving up 1 point of magic for 1 point of speed is worth it. However, the Mithril Armlet is still our best bet. And the Magician Robe. And the Peridot actually gives no stats, so... Let's see, the Barrette gives 3 strength. Not really helpful at all, but it gives 3 strength. As well as 1 spirit and 1 magic. But actually, I believe Vivi... Oh, she cannot equip the Magician's shoes, apparently. I'm still going with the Kashusha, though, because it boosts speed and boosts magic by a larger amount. Alright. At some point, she is actually going to learn Cura, but Cure still restores the majority of everyone's HP, so I'm not going to worry about it just yet. But you may remember that there's a switch that we didn't flip. Well, if we go back here, Flip that switch. That is how we get that chest we saw. Which means that this is in fact the one switch in Fossil Roo that is entirely optional. You have to flip every other switch in order to reach the end of the dungeon, but this one you actually have to not flip in order to reach the end of the dungeon. But if you want a particular treasure, you need to flip it and then flip it back. And a Lamia's tiara. I don't believe Quina can equip it, I just want to check. Oh, Quina indeed can equip it. It grants Clear-Headed, which grants immunity to the Confuse status effect. It also teaches the white magic spells Confuse and Float. Would it be an improvement over the bandana? No, trading 1 point of spirit, or 1 point of speed for 1 point of magic would not be. Float is an interesting status effect. A character under the effect of the float spell is completely immune to earth elemental magic, but takes extra damage from wind elemental magic. So it is quite situational, but against enemies that like to spam earth elemental magic, it can be quite helpful. Of course, we haven't encountered anybody who even uses earth elemental magic yet, but we will. But now that we've got all the loot, it's time to head for the exit. Flip switch 4 back to the position it was in when we got here. And if we hop on here and immediately go down as far as it will let us, we can sneak our way along here, climb up this side. If we get directly under one of the mouth things, they will drop water on us, knocking us into the pond like you saw. But we can sneak past this one as long as we're not too far away from it, and reach the final switch. Warning, you will be shut out once you flip this switch and go outside. Treasure Hunters Association. Yep, switch number 3. Flip it. And now the Gargant that we rode earlier is going to take us to the exit. So, just hop out of the water. Though Zidane will stay underwater for as long as we let him, until we actually hit X to jump out. So, that man has some impressive lung capacity. And ride the Gargant. And there's no Gargant grass here, which means we can't summon the Gargant to get back. We are officially stuck. Which means, well, we've reached the outer continent. We're gonna need to find some other method to get back to the Mist Continent once we're done. And let's have one last random encounter. Yep, they have wind elemental magic. Interestingly, Griffins are actually a good way for Quina to learn White Wind if you didn't already learn it from the zoo enemies near Clara. This is actually where I usually end up getting that ability. Because I don't usually succeed in eating the zoo, because usually it ends up swallowing Quina before I get a chance to do so. So these are the enemies I normally learn White Wind from. Oh, it survived all of that. Well, let's hit it with Blizzard again. Or I think I hit it with Thunder the first time. Yes, I already don't remember. Well, it's dead now. They're not that dangerous, but they can hit kinda hard and have a fair amount of health. And Zidane and Dagger level up, and it dropped a Peridot. What? But a Peridot is a piece of equipment. We only need one. Well, actually, each summon ability that you can get is granted by a gem. In this case, the Peridot is for Rama. The power of the summon ability is actually determined by how many of that gem you have in your inventory. So the more Peridots we have in our inventory, the more powerful Rama will become. So we actually have a reason to keep track of those and collect as many of them as we can. And I am switching Dagger over to Lamia's Tiara now that she's not about to level up because Clear Headed and Confuse are useful abilities. So is Bug Killer. And Jelly. But we've been in here long enough. Let's make for the outer continent. This light. There's no mist here. And we are in the outer continent. And with a dungeon completed and a whole brand new continent to explore, I would say it is time to end the video here. As usual, I love you all, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.